What's up, guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. This is going to be a slightly different format where instead of taking a look at several battles, maybe 5, 10, and going over a team, we're going to be looking at 3 particular games where we were able to find some win conditions in the end that were a little bit more advanced, more complicated, and we were able to flip those games. 2 of the very best players in the world, It's Axon, the world champion, and Wadaj, the North American international champion, are kind of involved in the thoughts with this video. First, It's Axon. This is his team I got from him that he runs in the Great League sometimes, and he likes really flexible teams. This team is quite flexible with Lickitung, Safe Swap, and Gligar. Unless they're running like an Ice type, Gligar is usually pretty safe in the Great League meta. And then Wadaj, I remember after he went on, he's still on this insane run, this insane string of tournaments where he's won multiple regionals now and the North American Championship and the Sylph Championship and was 3rd place at Worlds. And I'm like, yo, dude, you're on this crazy run, this incredible run. What do you think separates you from a lot of the other top battlers? And he said one thing that he thinks he's really good at is identifying win conditions in the end game. So here are going to be 3 games where we were able to identify some advanced win conditions in what looked to be maybe uncomfortable positions. So here we go. Lantern into Alolan Ninetales, and at certain points in the game, I will pause to break things down, and we'll do perhaps some instant replays. But this is, in my opinion, a positive lead for Lantern because you're going to significantly outpace the Ninetales, and you can really pressure them into uncomfortable spots. Opponent didn't bother. Oh, actually, no, they did build up the Psyshock. But I thought I would live a Psyshock, and they actually baited with Weather Ball, so I get off a second move, and we immediately pivot into our Gligar. Now, here's the thing. Part of the Go Battle League is also reading teams, and my read here, as soon as I see a Charm-9 in the lead, I'm already concerned that it's Bastiodon and Medicham in the back. It's a common trio. There also could be a Shadow Victory Bell as one of those 3 Pokemon, and I'm aware of that. So rather than just simply allowing the Charm down, I've already lost the lead matchup, right? I've got a 2 shield advantage, but Lantern lost the lead. I'm aggressively swapping my Gligar to not give Alolan Ninetales that extra energy, and this way, I still potentially have a catch with my Lantern for later. So that's kind of the strategy of aggressively swapping when you don't feel like they're going to have a hard check. If they're running Charm A9, right, they're probably not going to have a harder check than that to a Gligar. It's unlikely. We knock it out the Aerial Ace, and here comes Bastiodon. He tries to go for the catch on his Medicham, a sleek play there. And we are switch locked, keep in mind, so I'm over farming. I know this is probably a power-up punch, but I kind of... Oh, it is a power-up punch, so I call the power-up punch, and I don't want to take that. So if you're wondering, Rise, why didn't you farm up more here against the Medicham? Because in my opinion, these boosted counters now are going to do more damage than the smackdowns from Bastiodon. Also, with this type of fast move-oriented team, or tap-tap team as we like to joke, Medicham's typically going to be running Pup. So I'm not even sure if he did 5 or 6 there, but I think I just assumed he'd be running Pup since he's running Bastiodon, which is a very fast move, alignment-oriented team rather than kind of like a flexible team. So we knock it out, and now here, Lickitung is going to really struggle against Bastiodon. So what I do here is kind of a cool play. It might not seem like much, but I do 2 wing attacks and swap. Because I'm thinking in my head, how am I going to win this game? I need to land a dig on that Bastiodon. And I'm not sure if I'm going to reach it. So by doing 2 wing attacks, each wing attack is 2 turns, right? 2 wing attacks equates to 4 turns. Smackdown is 3 turns. So I'm taking 1 Smackdown, and I'm able to transfer that second Smackdown onto my Lickitung, if that makes sense. So the way it works is 1 wing attack, 2 turns, Smackdown's coming in. So I'm taking that Smackdown damage on that 3rd turn. and then I do another wing attack. So I'm at 4 turns. As the second smackdown is starting, it takes 1 turn to swap. So I'm able to swap sort of by that 5th turn, and the smackdown damage transfers to the Lickitung. So you can kind of tell, right? I'll just rewind it one more time, and we'll proceed to the end game. But Aerial Ace the Medi, 2 wing attacks, swap Lickitung, and you see Lickitung just started, but he's already taken a smackdown because we transferred a smackdown. And then this matchup will play out for a little while. A bit of a boring matchup here with 2 mons that are so bulky. And at this point, I'm thinking I just have to save my shield for Gligar. What I don't want to happen is I expend a shield here, and Bastiodon comes out with a move, and Gligar is not going to be able to get off a move. Stone Edge connects. I go for the Power Whip here, just to do some more chip damage to the Bastiodon. And check out, at this point, look, my switch timer is just about up. So what I did before with the 2 wing attacks and transfer a move, I do again. I do a second time. At least that's what I think I do here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Never mind. I'm tripping. I got there that time. Get to the dig. But look at that. 1 HP on the Gligar to get to the dig. If we hadn't done the 2 wing attack and switch out before, we would have taken 1 extra smackdown worth of damage, and Gligar isn't reaching that move. So that was a advanced sort of 2 wing attack and swap to transfer the smackdown play to come away with that win. And now we've got a couple more battles here. So that was battle number 1. Let me find battle number 2. It's the second battle in this clip. And we are going to lead our Lantern into an Umbreon neutral lead. And I'm totally fine just playing this out. My team doesn't have a great answer to Umbreon. Only neutral matchups. And Lickitung, of course, wants to avoid Umbreon since Umbreon resists that lick damage. They're going for Last Resort, which is kind of odd. So I'm not sure if they know exactly how this matchup plays out. So yeah, opponent making some interesting reads here. This is kind of telling me in the moment, maybe they really want to win this lead matchup because they feel like their back line is relatively RPS. So maybe they feel like they have to win this lead matchup, so they're willing to commit a shield and also go for the harder hitting, more energy Last Resort. I throw another Surf here. Umbreon throws its energy. I'm debating whether I want to fight for Switch. I decide not to. I let it go. And this way, Gligar is going to get a pretty hefty farm down. I am, of course, going to have to eat a move in the process. But Gligar's energy hopefully can do a lot for us. I actually get, perhaps you could argue, greedy. Maybe I should have thrown my Aerial Ace to avoid having to shield this. But Gligar comes out of here with a whole boatload of energy. In comes Azumarill. This is not great. But we do one. We throw our dig. We swap. What's going to be in the back? Deoxys. Not a bad matchup for Lickitung. So we're just going to play this out, man. Lickitung wins all even shields when they're running Thunderbolt, I believe. When DD's running Rock Slide, it just paces a little bit faster than Thunderbolt, so it can win this matchup. He hits me with a Thunderbolt. I go for the Body Slam. And right now I'm thinking, where am I going to use that final Protect Shield? I decide to let this go because I know I can wing attack down and come out with this energy. So I'm not thinking, oh man, I got to save Lickitung for Azu. I'm thinking, this is the only play. I go for the dig. It gets shielded, so that's unfortunate. And now I'm thinking, okay, with this amount of health on Azu, right? With this amount of health that we see on Azu, 2 Aerial Aces I don't think is enough. So I'm going to try and get to an Aerial Ace plus dig if possible. I'm going to try and get to Aerial Ace plus dig. I throw after 1 wing attack for proper time. I'm going to gauge how much this Aerial Ace does. So gauging the damage that this Aerial Ace does, I'm using this to see, okay, do I need to go for dig or will Aerial Ace be enough? From this range, I'm thinking, I think I have to commit to dig. I have to commit to dig, and I get off the dig. And why this is kind of crazy is because this move I'm not always going to get off. This is the result of the quote-unquote new mechanic, which has been new for, I don't know, a year or two now, so it's really not that new. But I decide I don't think Aerial Ace is enough. I think my only win con is going for the new mechanic with the dig. So I am 4 wing attacks away. Theoretically, it takes a turn to throw a charge move. So as I do 4 wing attacks, the third bubble should register first and knock out my Gligar. However, sometimes that doesn't happen, and you take priority with that charge move over the fast move coming through. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4th wing attack. You see that third bubble coming through. Normally, this third bubble is going to knock me out, but it is an inconsistent mechanic, and I play to the win condition of getting to this dig, which will surely knock out the Azumarill. Aerial Ace would have been super close, but I thought Azum would probably just barely hang on to that Aerial Ace, and we're able to knock it out with the dig. So that was game number 2. Committing to the new mechanic win con there, and here we go. Game number 3. Positive lead against Frostlass. Lantern likes this matchup. In comes Diggersby, and I decide to chip it with a Surf, and then I'm going to go into Gligar. And here's my thought process here is both Lantern and Lickitung do quite well against Frostlass. So I actually decide to no shield here. I'm fully aware this could be a Hyper Beam, but I felt like both, even if I lose this matchup, both of my remaining Pokemon have a solid matchup against Frostlass. Diggersby going to throw another move here, and it is a double resisted Scorching Sand, so I actually still live with a tad of health to get off this Aerial Ace for some chip damage. That worked out about as well as we could have possibly hoped for. We're going to wait out our full switch timer here, and we're going to re-enter with Lantern as to not reveal our last Pokemon. He swaps in Serperior, and this is concerning because even that one Vine Whip head start that Serperior has, well, I guess theoretically Serperior, even on even energy, is going to slightly outpace Lickitung because the counts for Lickitung are 12, 12, 11, which is 12 turns, 11 turns. The counts for Serperior are 12, 12, 10 in terms of turns. So it's 6, 6, 5 for Vine Whips. Hopefully you guys are still with me there. So Serperior is going to outpace our Lickitung to 3 moves before we get to 3 moves. That's my concern here because we're going to need to get rid of the Serperior for Lantern to win this game. Lantern does not want to see Serperior. I decided to take the first Frenzy. You could argue maybe I should have shielded first because they're less likely to bait first. I don't know. But we go for the Body Slam here. We are going to get outpaced. So I decide to shield up my Lickitung. I'm aware at this point that the Frostlass swap could be coming. So I'm trying to be extra careful to not allow a Body Slam catch. A Body Slam catch would be devastating for me. So we don't allow the Body Slam catch. We anticipate the swap. We come in with Lantern. And remember, we have that Body Slam loaded in the back, but he still has a shield to hide behind. I get off my Surf here. Trying to take out this Frostlass. Frostlass doesn't shield, so we're going to go for the Spark Down. And at this point, I'm worried that if I throw my Surf, he could potentially get a Vine Whip down, and he could win CMP against my Lickitung. So what I decide to do here is simply commit to fast moves because I'm too concerned. I feel like at this point of the game, if I throw the Surf, I could give him a Vine Whip down, and he's going to win the charge move priority against my Lickitung. So I decide in this moment, based on the damage, the health we have left, I think the commit to fast moves is the play. And we commit to the Spark Down, and it's a simul KO. And with our Lickitung still in the back, we're able to win. If I had thrown the Surf, I do believe I lose that game because he simply shields, as we said, farms down, wins the CMP. So there you have it. 3 games with 3 sort of advanced, you could say, win conditions. Game 1 was the Bastiodon, where we did 2 wing attacks to transfer a Smackdown and then swapped. Game number 2, I'm already forgetting. What was game number 2 like? It was committing to that dig, not thinking the aerial ace was enough, committing to the win condition that we would get that mechanic and get off the dig. So definitely very lucky there, but still also having the wherewithal to commit to the win condition. And then in the final game, committing to fast moves in the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bit of a different cadence to it, where we were kind of breaking things down in the end game. So if you did enjoy this content, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And that said, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.